welcome to Conversations with My Real Friends. I'm Jennifer. I'm here with my friend Jose Luiz Morales. He's a real estate agent here in Ventura County. And today we're going to talk about the bad escrow, the bad transaction. So let's talk about an experience you had where things didn't go as planned and how you were able to manage.
Yeah, so maybe about 5 years ago, I ended up getting a certification. The certification was called Divorce Real Estate Expert.
Great.
And the designation was teaching you how to become an expert at dealing with family law cases.
Right.
Sure enough, very shortly I get a referral from an attorney friend that I have, and he goes, I just appointed you on the case. It was a property that had been on the market 6 times already.
Oh, no.
The property had not sold, and the husband and wife were not in any speaking terms whatsoever.
Right.
I meet with the wife. The wife's like, okay, we'll hire you, or they don't have to hire me because I've already been appointed on the court order. And the husband, in a phone call, tells me, I don't believe that you'll be able to sell the property. So that's
challenge accepted,
that's
right?
the very first thing that he says to me. And it was a situation where they were behind on their payments. The loan balance kept going up. The equity was a lot less than what they were initially accepting. So you have like prices coming down a little bit, the loan balance increasing every single month, disputes, and it was actually my very first litigious, highly litigious divorce.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a point where there was a request for repairs, and there was, I think it's called a family law attorney lien. I don't know.
So attorneys can get liens against a property, so we get paid when they sell too.
And it was interesting because that was the first time I had ever dealt with that.
Right.
And luckily I had taken that certification. And the husband was like, look, I'm not paying for that. That's her attorney's liens. And what I realized was that he was right, that it was her attorney's lien, and that can go against her equity portion of the property. The challenge with that was that now, because it was her equity, she was making even less, which meant a lot less cooperation, and she was there at the property. So I was able to structure it in a way where we made it so that her attorney lien got paid, and he was willing to contribute in other aspects, which allowed us to kind of push the sale through. So it was interesting because I would say that highly litigious cases are some of the most challenging properties that we sell, but that was like my first experience. It was in 2019.
Right.
And the reason I remember the year was I remember being at the hospital. My first son was just born, and I remember having to take a couple calls specifically about that case. Now, what I've learned from it, because we have other highly litigious cases, fortunately and unfortunately, a lot of attorneys think about us because they know that we know how to handle those cases. But a lot of the times, like, they're looking for reasons to blame you about something or for you to do something wrong. So now what we've done is we have one of your attorneys that anytime we have a question, I'll send her an email and say, hey, look, this is what's going on. How would you handle this? And recently we have one where we basically were able to get a price reduction and a listing agreement extension because of having the legal professional in the background. And that's something that I wish I would have had on the first one, because a lot of times the attorneys on those cases are representing one of the parties, and they're more hesitant to reach out to you. But if I have my own attorney that's guiding me, I know I can count on them to be able to give me proper guidance as to how to deal with the courts, how to deal with the judge, how to deal with the different attorneys. And that was the first experience, and probably the most challenging case that I had, that I was appointed to.
I mean, that's the biggest thing, is when we're in a dispute situation, everybody has to agree, or we got to get a court involved, right? And so knowing that and managing that, and the more you're using your negotiation skills, the more we can get stuff done and not be stuck in court fighting over everything, right?
Yeah, and the great thing was that attorney went back and told all his friends. He's like, oh my God, I appointed this guy. He basically sold the property that 7 agents had not been able to sell. And still to this day, it's a great property that I can reference to people and be like, look, this property was listed 7 different times with 7 different agents, you know? So it's something that, I was a 7th agent, by the way.
Right, that's awesome. So if someone wants to have you hopefully as their first agent, how can they reach you?
Yeah, office number 805-228-4671, email mrg@moralesregroup.com, and then Instagram Jose Luiz Morales.
Great. So thank you for joining me today, Jose.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us for this episode of Conversations with My Real Friends. We'll see you soon.